And we are back again here, trying to beat Maxi. That's the wrong button. Everybody's level 66. I did that with Pokéax, so nobody learned any new moves. I don't know if anybody would have learned any new moves otherwise, but I figured, you know what? I'm pretty happy with the moveset as is, and if there's any other better moves that they might have learned through leveling up those 2 or 3 levels, I'll take that as my punishment for using Pokéax, because, again, could not be bothered doing that manually. While going back down here, grammar, important, I ran into something very, very interesting indeed. Remember, I think 2 or 3 episodes ago when I talked about the fact that we forgot to pick a fossil, and that one of the fossils, that being Anorith, is actually a bug type, so we could have used that. While going down here, I ran into a Armaldo. I might have run into an Armaldo before and just not noticed it, but I suddenly noticed that if I wanted an Armaldo, I could just catch one here, and it would be in its mid-50s, which would still make it 10 levels under my current team, but I still could use it. I'm probably not going to go ahead and do that, just due to the fact that it is going to be a little bit underleveled, which is easily fixed with Pokéax and away. But I think the team as it is now is actually pretty good. I say I've lost twice to this fight, but this is probably going to be one of the most difficult fights in the game we still have to do. Because he has got fire types, which is a real problem. And he starts this with a sunny day, which probably means he realizes that he is going to get annihilated by a discharge, right? Now, that's certainly what that does not mean yet. No. But I outspeed him now! Presumably. I'm assuming that I do. So maybe you switch out, maybe use a full restore. Probably should have seen that coming. I also got some full restores, some hyper potions, and some revives to stock up on healing items with. And I will not outspeed, but I'm stalling out your sunny day before your fire types come out. So that can only be a good thing. And you're not going to put me to sleep. That would have been bad. Because even though I have full restores, I prefer not to use them as full heals. I think I might also have a full heal or two. I didn't buy any, but I think I have some. I have no topics to talk about today. I'm just... I'm going into this 1000% blind as far as commentary goes, which usually I have an idea as to what I want to talk about, and then usually I don't end up talking about that idea for like 3 or 4 episodes in a row, and then I finally talk about it, and it ends up being a very underwhelming story. I thought you had Earthquake, but I didn't teach that to you. That is entirely correct. So Rock Tomb it is instead, and let's see how this does. Probably not too well, does it? It is a 2-shot. And you're wider, but overheating the sun is that's gonna kill me. That's just gonna take me out. There's no chance in hell that I survive that. Okay, you have a significantly lower special attack now, so I think I should be able to live in overheat with Towel at this range. And Earthquake will certainly take out the Houndoom. I say about 20% comment for that. I didn't think about this, but that also is a special attack, which is lower powered. Actually, no, I don't think it is. That was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic in every way possible. Okay, Houndoom also taken out. I think this is also the last turn for Sun, which is... well, let's just stay in. Which is real good. You have Blizzard. I remember now, you have Blizzard. It doesn't matter either way, because Sandstream. Sure. So I don't want to use special attacks against you at the moment. That is what we learned last episode. Can I live a Blizzard? Please let me live a Blizzard. I didn't live a Blizzard. I should have... A critical hit! Again! I think last time you used Blizzard it was also a critical hit, wasn't it? I am like 82% sure that it was. It might not have been. I might be going crazy, I'll be honest with you. There's a non-zero chance that I'm just going insane slowly but surely. This should do a lot of damage though. Not quite enough. Will a Stone Knight take me out? I don't remember. I recorded the last episode yesterday. For you guys it's been 2 days. For me it's just been 1 day. I make the mistake a lot when I'm just rambling. I say you guys and then I go over back to like first person, which is me. I just end up saying me guys, which makes no sense at all. But if you keep wasting your full restores on Tyranitar, I'll take that. Okay, we're going to find out. Can I live a Stone Edge? I certainly cannot. I certainly cannot. Remember when I had Aqua Jet? That was a good time, wasn't it? I guess we go into Fork, because I'm sure that Fork can outspeed. Surely, right? I'm not sure. And... well, let's Bug Buzz. It's super effective, but it's also a special attack. Okay, yeah, that's good. That was actually more tense than it should have been. And we're only halfway through. Sandstorm subsided, that is actually perfect timing. Okay, Chandelure, we can go into Cup for this one. With a couple of extra levels, I think maybe a Surf can take you out. I just realised I didn't try last episode whether or not maybe Dive would actually be a better option to go with. Let me go ahead and check that for now. What is the power we got with Dive? It's 80. So that is lower. But it is a physical move versus a special move, and my stats definitely lean special. So we're gonna go with Surf. I don't think there's a question about it. We need to use Surf. Critical hit. You have a Focus Sash. You bitch. And now you outspeed me. Except, hold on a moment, if we're gonna play... I like this idea. I like this idea a lot. Because I've got a slow-ass Pokemon. If you're gonna set up a Trick Room... you're gonna feel what it's like to be... I had a Max Revive. Fuck. You're gonna feel what it's like to be fucked by a Trick Room. By the time I get Towel out, Trick Room will have ended, because I think Trick Room only lasts 3 turns, maybe? Okay, so last time you hit like 5, I haven't checked, but 4 or 5 Fire Blasts in a row. Now you're missing 2 in a row, when I actually want you to... and this one's going to take me out. It didn't take me out, it did burn me. So the whole Trick Room idea didn't really work out for me, because I think Trick Room is going to wear off any moment now. But not yet. Claydol seems fairly slow though, so let's go to Towel, because Towel also has Psychic, I think. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's not what I needed. Oh, I'm an idiot. But wait a second, it also has Bug Buzz, doesn't it? It's got Steamroller. Might as well. I'm very sorry for that WhatsApp sound. I forgot. And you're setting up another Trick Room! You're helping! Dude, you're helping me! Oh, the dimension returns to normal. Oh. That is less than ideal. I'll probably live with whatever you have. Unless it's an Ice Beam. Which I definitely will not live. Oh, I lived a critical hit! Wow! The difference between the damage that Blizzard did before and this Ice Beam did is astounding. That is a... wow. And last time I outsped the camera, which means that there's a real good chance that I'll outspeed it again, and probably in one shot, because you're not holding any held item. Well, you're holding the Mega Stone, but that means that I know that you won't have some kind of bullshit Focus Sash or something like that. So, this time you do outspeed me, and the Fire Blast hits, which just takes me out. Okay, hear me out. We go into Cup, and we use Surf. I think... still should be quite effective. Intimidate? I don't think it's going to matter, because I'm assuming you have mostly special attacks. But so do I. So, bye-bye Camera. That was all I wanted. Okay, it wasn't an easy fight. It wasn't an easy fight, even though I was a little bit over-leveled. But we beat Maxi, so now I think we move on to... I don't know what we do next. I I chose level 66, by the way, I didn't go into that. I chose level 66 over 65, because the upcoming gym goes up to level 67, and I figured, okay, we're going to get a little bit of experience between then and now, and might as well get my team ready in levels for that, right? For that gym, because that's going to be the next major milestone, and then we have like Wally at the end of the Victory Road, and then we have the Elite Four, which is going to be a different recording session altogether. So, but I figured there might be a chance that we actually take on a gym today. So I wanted to be ready for that gym if need be. Turns out I needed it for this fight probably more so than for the gym. I don't think the gym is going to be an issue. I still think the gym is going to be relatively easy compared to this fight. Just due to the fact that the type advantage that I have against the gym and Maxi had against me. They're both, like, they cancel each other out. So at the same level, the gym is probably going to be easy. I'm being real with you. I'm fully expecting the gym to be easier than this Maxi fight. And I know I'm setting myself up for looking like an idiot when I also struggle with the upcoming gym. And I honestly even feel like there might be a case to be made for at least part of the Elite Four being easier than this fight. I don't want to say that it definitely will be, but there's a real good chance that at least part of the Elite Four is going to be easier, because there's a Dark type Elite Four, but we can absolutely make our way through that no problem whatsoever. There is a Steel type, which is the champion, Steven. We've got an Earthquake or two, right? We can use that. So yeah, we go to Sotopolis, and then do we need to do the Rayquaza thing? Is that an Emerald thing? Rayquaza? I don't think that's an Emerald thing. I think that also happens in Ruby and Sapphire. I don't know. I honestly do not remember. But something tells me you don't go to Sky Pillar in this game until the Delta episode. But maybe, I don't know, because Mega Rayquaza, isn't that a thing? But that is the Delta episode. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I have no idea. I'm just trying to mesh through this cutscene so we can find out where the hell we're supposed to be going. So, why am I, like, friendly with these people now? Just because they fucked up, I am suddenly friendly with them? Because they're suddenly on my side? I'd still push them into that pool of lava. I would just straight up push that. You know, he realizes he fucked up, but just realizing you fucked up doesn't mean that everything is okay. That just means that you realize you fucked up. I'm all about second chances, I really am. But I do want to point out that this whole mess gets fixed by a 10-year-old and not by the adult who fucking caused it at the end of the day. Even he says, I'm supposed to be a grown-up. Why do I have to deal with you guys' problems? This is actually a real good metaphor for the real world, right? Every generation is always fixing the problem from the generation that came before them. The last generation fucked something up in the world and we gotta fix it. And surely we will fuck something up that the generation after us will have to fix, because that's kind of how that works. So can we please start to shut the fuck up and just let me play Pokemon again? Because people complain about the pacing of the more modern games. And this probably is part of that more modern games thing, right? But I really couldn't give less of a shit about all this story stuff. It's fun the first time around. And granted, about 80% of players probably... I don't know where I have to go. I'm going to Sotopolis, I don't know. About 80% of the players of these games probably won't play them that much more than just once or twice, so it's not that big of a deal. But for those people who do like to play the games a lot more, and I mean a lot more, like me, or probably most people watching this, right? It's kind of annoying. Not gonna lie, it's kind of annoying. Also, I never noticed the particle effects. There's these little like fire particle effects, and there's a different skybox as well, which that one I did notice before. I'm fairly certain. So where do I go? Do I just go down here immediately? I don't remember. I think I might just go down here immediately and then be able to go into Stopless through here? Question mark? Maybe not. This doesn't look like Stopless at all. But at least I won't encounter any Pokemon swimming through here, so maybe I can actually find Stopless this way? Question mark? I don't think so. Maybe... It's Route 130? I'm just gonna stay underwater, just because I like the music. Is that a good reason? No. Is it my reason? Yep. It is. It is. Okay, I'm gonna give up on the staying on the water thing because there's still grass on the water. And hello, it's a storm, me. Hold on a moment, are we really running into Evolution Stone Pokemon? Because is Stormy not a Water Stone evolution? Of course, Pokemon.com doesn't tell you, Wikipedia though will. It is a Water Stone evolution. We're running into wild Pokemon. Wild Stone evolution. I definitely should have gone to the Pokemon Center. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake from my part, isn't it? I feel like this is not gonna put me somewhere where I can actually like leave again. Yeah, this is one of those hidden base areas, right? I think it is. Yeah, Secret Matter. Oh man, I used to be here a lot. I used to come here a lot for Blissey training. Every single one of these used to, in my, it probably still has, to be fair, in my actual Omega Ruby cartridge has a trainer secret base with 3 level 100 Blissers with toxic orbs, and it's marvelous the amount of experience that gets you. I don't know if it's necessarily this Secret Matter, because there's a lot of them. But there was one which had, like, a lot of Blissies. Which was a real good way to get your Pokemon up high level very, very quickly. I don't think... I mean, we have raid battles now in Gen 8, but I don't think Gen 7 really had an equivalent. There were wild Blissey battles which you could pretty reliably trigger, I think, in a certain... was it Chansey? I think it might have just been a Chansey. So yeah, we've passed Sutopolis, I'm fairly certain. Because that is going to Pacific Log, and if we need to go to Sky Pillar, I think we do need to go to Sutopolis first. But I think we just have to go to Sutopolis in this game. I think I'm mixing up Ruby Sapphire and Pokemon Emerald. I think. I don't know. Oh, I'm so confused. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't even know where am I? Where is anything? We have a map. That'll help. Okay, so we're supposed to go up north a little bit. I think. Because Sutopolis is around, like, the very big square wall. Just, like, right in the middle of it, that's where Sutopolis is, and you need to dive to get there. That's all I know. So, what is this episode, you might be wondering? This episode was me getting revenge on Maxie, and then being lost for the rest of the episode. That's what it seemed like. Okay, we were just here. We were literally just here. So where the fuck am I supposed to go? I thought for a moment you were a shiny. You are not a shiny, in fact. You are just female. I don't know. I got really excited there for a second, thinking I ran into a shiny Frillish, but just a female. Very disappointing. Well, then I could have traded her away to... Oh. There's another square to the left, which yeah, no, okay, that is on me. I had a map. I was looking at the map. I just didn't realize that in order for the map to be filled in, you actually need to have visited the area. So I just was thinking that the place I'm right now, where I'm at in the map, it's just background. No, it was actually a section of the map. And that's how maps work. Well, it's not how real maps work, but that's how maps work in video games. Things you haven't been to yet are grayed out. Things you have been to are not grayed out. Oh, this reflection is actually kind of fancy. I like it. Can I go into the gym? I cannot. I kind of figured that I wouldn't be able to, but it would have been fun to just go into the gym first, because at least I know what I'm up against for the gym. If I didn't need to go to Satopolis first, but I needed to go to Pacific Log and Sky Pillar, I'm gonna be annoyed. But it seems like, yeah, we're in the right place. Okay. We will be... I don't know if you can knock out Groudon, or maybe you need to catch him. I don't know. I'm thinking you might need to catch him. There are some legendary, like box legendaries, that you need to capture, that you can't just knock out. I think Sakura and Reshiram in Pokémon Black and White are examples of that. I think maybe this encounter might be another one of those. I know that Mega Rayquaza is that as well. You can't not catch Mega Rayquaza. Partly because it's required for you to move on with the story of the Delta episode and face the Oxus. But if you just knock out Mega Rayquaza, the encounter will just start again. Which, now that I think about it, might be a decent way to grind experience, but it's post-game, so it doesn't really matter too much. And again, this is the game where you had Blissey Secret Bases, which is a... you get it from them! Remember when we were in the Magma Hideout and we saw the Magma suit that we were going to have to use to go fight Groudon, and I mentioned, how do we get that? Because there's like, doesn't Steven give that to us? No, actually Team Magma gives it to us. That makes a lot of sense. Is it just like, is it just a diving suit in Alpha Sapphire? Or is it still Magma? Do you still need to go through Molten Rock? Also, how does a suit protect you from molten fucking rock? That's not how anything works. I know, like, you can... Thermal isolation is a thing. But that is a lot of heat to keep out. With just something that seems like a... admittedly, relatively thick suit, but still. That would melt the fuck away. I don't think there's a lot of things that could survive being thrown in lava to begin with. I think most things would catch on fire and or melt. I don't know what the... Let's check this, because this is not just lava. This is magma, which is lava before it reaches the surface, but that tends to be... not insignificantly higher in temperature. It's actually not that high in temperature, never mind. I mean, it's certainly not cold, but it's between 650 and 1200 degrees Celsius, which is Celsius to Fahrenheit. I misspelled both of those real bad. Let's say we have Celsius to Fahrenheit. 1200 degrees Celsius is, for you people in Freedom Land, 2200 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly. There certainly is metals. A lot of metals. Well, I don't want to say a lot of metals, but there is metals that you could throw in there that would not melt. They would probably get a little bit mushy, but they wouldn't liquefy in there. Like, what is the melting point for... There's unknown in here. That actually makes no sense. Never mind. I was going to say that makes some amount of... Okay, let's go heal up first. I kind of expected somebody, you bunch of assholes. Nobody heals me up? Really? Also, why is there a side chain? What the hell? We can't even go at... I don't know. Melting temperature... I think tungsten, as I said, is one at the top of my head that probably can survive it. Yeah, tungsten's melting temperature is 3,422 degrees Celsius, so you could put a rod of tungsten into magma, and it would be totally fucking fine. Titanium, another one. Cobalt, another one. It will be totally fucking fine. So there's multiple different kinds of metal that could definitely survive those temperatures. So, but those don't make for great isolation materials still. So we get back to the point. Is there anything that can withstand 1200 degrees Celsius? Did I say Fahrenheit? I meant Celsius. 1200 degrees Celsius, and also serve as a decent insulator. Because I don't think those two things will mix. I don't think you can find a material with both of those properties. Unless you have some... No. Because I was going to say, unless you have some like actively cool thing powered with electricity and you have a battery. But then you need to take a battery and presumably something with circuit boards in them, which are mostly made up of copper and gold, which definitely will melt in temperatures lower than that. So you're, and then you have the circuit boards themselves, which are silicon, which again definitely melt on way lower temperatures. So there's no way that you can make something. I know that I am complaining about the science behind a very insignificant key item that's used on one cutscene in a Pokemon game. I'm just... Again, I don't know what the hell else I'm supposed to be talking about, and when I don't know what I'm talking about. This is one thing that interests me a lot, is, like, metal work. It really interests me a lot. It is way too, like... I don't know much about it. Like you just noticed, I need to look up all this information about melting points, and then you have boiling points, which is something else entirely, of course. And, for instance, don't ask me, like, what things alloy together. I mean, I know bronze is a mixture of copper and tin, I think, right? Is that right? Bronze alloy. Bronze, copper and tin. I got that right. Okay, nice. It's something that really does interest me, and I am trying to learn more about it because I'm not actively working on this anymore. Because I honestly, at this point, I'm not entirely sure whether or not I want to do this in literature format, meaning like writing a book. Or maybe I just want to like, put down all my ideas and like write the scripts and do it in a film format, which would probably be animation, which would be very expensive. So it would be like it would be my life's work. Either way, it would be my life's work. I'm still working on this like this fantasy adventure story. I'm just going to call it a story at the moment because I don't know whether or not it would be a book or a film. Well, if it would be a film, it probably would end up being like a series because there's like a lot of content that I would want to get through. So it probably would be like a TV show kind of format, like half an hour episodes, 45-minute episodes, or it would just be like a series of very thick books. And I want to incorporate like metalworking into that in a certain like. To a certain extent, you know? Like having some of the magic system involved with like different kind of metals, and I'm not entirely sure how those would go together because I don't know quite that much about metal, but that is something that I'm very much interested in, and slowly but surely, when I have the time to, trying to learn more about that. And again, I'm not actively working on the story at this point in time because, and I'm not even working very much on the world building at the moment because I'm just fairly busy. But I do want to, I had a very basic magic system. I want to overhaul that a bit because it was pretty much just ripped from two other things that I very much enjoy and put them together. Like, take aspects from both. At the end of the day, you're never going to be fully original, right? How far are we into this episode? We are 30 minutes into this episode. Should we end it here? I'm going to keep going. You're never going to be fully original. Anything you do is going to be inspired by, at least to some extent, like a couple of things that you have consumed through other media. Like whether that be books, films, TV shows again. You're going to be influenced. The thing is, you need to be influenced by enough things that are separate from each other to the point where that does create a new combination. Or at least a somewhat authentic combination. And I feel like the magic system I had set up at this moment still for that story isn't particularly... Also, why is Groudon suddenly helping me? Isn't particularly unique enough from the things that it's inspired upon to be happy about. So I'm still trying to work that out, and then try to work out how that magic system would interact with certain types of metal work. There would be some kind of like element of infusing magic within the material as you're like mixing and alloying the metals, something like that, and then maybe like something related to like putting in runes as well, something like that. You see, I'm just like brainstorming at this point, right? It's going to be a very long-term project, and I am very much aware that generally when you start a long-term project without having done a lot of like shorter-term projects, that doesn't end up going well. And I really haven't done much in the fantasy adventure genre. I've made a decent amount of like drama films, that is, short films, between 5 and 20 minutes in length. So I know what it's like to write a script. I know what it's like to write a story. I consume a decent amount of narrative content, and I naturally do tend to analyze that content as well. So I would argue that if I like put in the effort and the time, that I would know what I'm doing. A little bit of practice within a magic-based story, or like a fantasy-based story, might not be a bad idea for jumping into a big project like that. But again, I think working on the world building is kind of like that practice as well, because you can come up with things, you can discard things, you can improve upon things, and then once you've done like the world building and like building that magic system and stuff like that, that's probably when you get into the writing, which again, at some point I'll have to decide whether I want it to be a book or a visual medium. And I don't know. The thing is, if it is a visual medium, that being film or... it's not a very good Pokemon to have. I use level 65! Okay. That ain't great. That's not great. Let's just let you die. What is Primal Groudon's typing again? Does it go to pure fire type or is it fire ground? Primal Groudon. Primal Force, there we go. You give me different stats, which is great, but I very much would like to know its different typings as well. It's ground and fire, so I can't use discharge is what I want to know, really. That didn't do... Oh my god, you have fissure! You what? You have fissure? That is not okay! That is highly not okay! Oh my god, no! Use next Pokemon. I guess we... What do we do? What do we do? I guess we try to hit an earthquake. That'll do a lot of damage. Because it'll only be super effective against one of its types, you're not a warp type round. But still, it'll be super effective. Oh, that's also not great. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Still deals a decent amount of damage now. And since I don't have to catch you, presumably. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. Should have seen that coming. Something tells me that in Desolate Land I can't use water type moves, but I don't think that is right. So, okay, your physical defense is high enough to the point where I can only use. I was entirely correct. Okay, bug balls. that's a big mistake, by the way. That's not going to do a lot of damage. Oh, that actually did more damage than I thought it would. It's probably going to do more damage than Fly would after 2 ball pops. Okay, just one more. Don't Fire Blast. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a critical hit. I don't think that mattered, but it's fine. We just need to hit you with... you know what? We're going to hit you with a Rock Tomb. Why Rock Tomb, you might ask? Because... fuck it, I don't care. It's the fastest Pokemon I have. I just wanted to outspeed it. I'm sorry, what? Oh, Bellcops. That's correct. That is my bad. Now you die. So, was that enough, or do I need to catch it? Because if I need to catch it, I'll just do that off screen. Because this episode is long enough as is. I feel like that was good enough. I don't think we need to catch him. I don't think we need to catch him. Or everybody just dies and this is the bad ending in the game which nobody's ever gotten because nobody's ever not caught Groudon. Okay, no, that's... There was like a 1/10%, which was kind of hoping for that in my heart. I knew it wasn't going to happen because somebody would have killed Groudon on accident and figured this out, if that was the case. It would have been funny. It just everybody dies, the end. You know what? These cutscenes of everybody being happy and safe, really not that impactful because you didn't show us them being worried before. And we haven't even been here yet. So what do I care? I mean, this is a little bit of foreshadowing for the fact that Wally is now at Evergrande City. Admittedly, I'll give you that. But this cutscene, again, this is what I mean. This is what I mean with, especially like, visual narratives. I do tend to analyze everything like almost automatically. When something happens on screen, the first thing I'm thinking is, why does this happen? What is the like narrative and emotional reason for it? And does it work well? Was it set up well? Does this have any kind of delivery, or is this just thrown in there because slow music and panning shots really like are a very easy and direct way to make people feel emotional? Because they are. And it's real cheap. Because even though I'm complaining about it, I can kind of feel it. I kind of feel the moment here. Even though the game does not deserve the recognition from me. Because it didn't set up anything. Well, between these two, a little bit. I'll give it that. And I've done it before. I'll admit that. Like, slow music, slow shots, everybody being, like, happy. Well, not exactly that, because, again, I tend to like most of the things I've made in my filmmaking career so far have been dramas, which don't end with like happy endings always necessarily. Sometimes kind of do. I mean, there's one thing I made which had kind of a happy ending, but it was more of a bittersweet ending, really. And I'm thinking, there's like what I would consider to be the best film I've made so far. Definitely had a very depressing ending because it was a short film about a mother and a son and his mother. Really, that his son was the main character, even though he had almost no dialogue at all. And the film ends with the mom dying, which is just like very depressing. And after just a little bit of spoiler, nobody is going to watch it. It's not even in English. That being said, there's almost no dialogue in the entire film, so I'm fairly certain that even if you don't speak Dutch, which is the language the film is made in, you probably still mostly like understand the film as much. I do think it's one of the best things I've made. I'm very proud of it. But after mom dies, that's the first time you get to see the dad. It's a let's say it's an artsy kind of film. It's not like it's not a Hollywood Avengers blockbuster type of film. It's more like it's an art house kind of thing. Just the fact that it barely has any dialogue probably should give that away. Because if you go to the cinema, and it's a short film, but if you go to the cinema, and even if it were a short film, I say that, but I think all the Pixar shorts have no dialogue at all. I think that is a thing, right? Literally every Pixar short doesn't have dialogue. I think that is a thing, because the Pixar shorts are their way of training the new generation of filmmakers within Pixar. And I'm fairly certain they really want to emphasize visual storytelling there. So they want to limit or just flat out ban the use of dialogue so that you do have to use character animations and character acting and just like general like composition and stuff like that to tell your story. I think that is a thing. I might be forgetting like one line somewhere in some Pixar short, but I think all Pixar shorts are totally without dialogue, which is just generally a very interesting thing as a filmmaker to just at some point attempt. Just make a scene or a short entirely without dialogue. I think it does teach you a lot of things about directing actors, because you can't just tell them say this thing, you have to tell them how to act, but also to think about like your shots and your editing and everything like that. It really is a very good exercise, and we never did that in school, I now realize. We definitely should have. There's a lot of things that I probably should have done differently in school. If I ever started film school, it would be a lot different from the film school I went to. Not to say that it was a bad school at all, but I have some ideas, is all I'm saying. I'll see you back next time. It's been 45 minutes. Next time we're taking on the 8th gym. Until then, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed the video, which hopefully you have. I'll see you back next time. Bye. Also, Radiant software updates. I almost clicked on stop recording. I need footage for the end screen as well. That would have been a bummer.